Hey guys, Hector Castillo here again from girlschase.com, the world's most popular men's dating site. Now today we're going to be talking about how to have a conversation with a girl, or really anybody, by understanding the fundamental point of even having a conversation. I originally developed the idea for this video while coaching a client of mine. He was cold approaching girls, so approaching women that he had not met before, and was able to strike up a conversation, but didn't know how to develop that into a normal, natural conversation. Now, some guys, they struggle with actually approaching the woman, going up to a girl that they don't know and saying hi. That wasn't his issue. The actual interaction that spawned this frustration of his was him approaching a girl at a bus stop. He was able to walk up and say hi, but after introducing himself and learning her name and asking her, like, how are you, he ran out of steam and didn't know what to say next. As I tried to think of a way to explain to him the art of conversation, I remembered the parable of teaching a man to fish rather than giving him a fish, or in this case, a possible conversation he could have had. And then I remembered an interview with Elon Musk where he talked about how going back to first principles is the best way to solve a problem. For those of you who haven't read Aristotle, first principles are the fundamental building blocks of anything. So if we're going to ask ourselves what the first principles of conversation are, we have to ask ourselves, what is a conversation, or what is the point of a conversation? The way I see it, the point of conversation, or as Aristotle would say, the telos of conversation, is twofold. The first point of a conversation is to do what we call screening. The second goal of a conversation is to make a connection with that person. Now, I get it. That sounds like a foreign language. Screening, building a connection. The fuck does that even mean? But that's why you got me, bro. Okay, first, screening. Screening is about figuring out how that person peoples. How do they act? What do they do? And what do they want? As for making a connection through conversation, this is about verbally expressing how you two fit together, how you both want the same thing, how you two can help each other, or how you two enjoy each other's company. Unfortunately, for the nerds watching this video, there isn't a reliable conversation generator application because reality is often stranger than fiction. You're going to have to analyze a conversation that you've actually had with someone so that you can truly understand how screening and connection building works out in real time. For a simple concrete example, I'll use another conversation that my client had with a different girl where he had some trouble branching off into a topic that he started. After approaching said girl, he said hi, gave her a compliment, asked her name, and then a few sentences later asked her what she does for a living. She then told him that she worked at a hospital, so his natural next question was, are you a nurse or are you a doctor? But after she told him that she was a nurse, he didn't know what to say next. But if you understand the point of conversation and its fundamental constituents, screening and building a connection, there's a few great ways that you can extend the conversation and continue to screen and to continue to build a connection with her. So if a girl tells me what she does, I'm going to ask her why she does it or how she got there. Then, with these answers, you can feed them back to her and say, oh, okay, now I understand you better. Or you can even show her that you feel the same way that she does. The best way to go about this is to either cold read her or take an educated guess, or you can just ask. Let's try cold reading. She tells you she's a nurse. You say something like this. Oh, yeah, being a doctor would be cool and being in charge is fun, but that level of responsibility can also be intimidating. And all that studying, too. Doesn't leave a lot of room for life. Plus, you still get to make a huge difference in people's lives as a nurse. An answer like this does a few things. First, it shows that while you do have ambition, you like to enjoy yourself. You're screening yourself to her. Then, it screens her as well, because if she's similar to you or wants to seem similar to you, she'll agree with you. If she makes that effort, then we call that qualifying, as in she's qualifying herself, which then builds a connection. Details and caveats are important. Like when I talked about how I like to be in charge and being a doctor would be cool, but then still talked up being a nurse. This puts you in a good spot if she does plan on being a doctor down the road, or might get turned off if you're not that ambitious, because girls like to sleep with superiors even if they themselves are, well, average. It should go without saying that you shouldn't just recite what I said. Don't rehearse lines. You should tailor what you say to how you feel and what you think about whatever topic is at hand. Yes, focus on the seduction, but don't falsely qualify yourself and falsely build a connection, because that flimsy connection you make could fall apart at any moment. Furthermore, as evident from the doctor versus nurse conversation, your standards matter, and these standards will bleed into your conversations. The higher your standards, the higher quality girl you'll get. But along the way, you might lose a lot of cute, hot, and fun girls who would be great lays, but because they feel intimidated and unworthy, they auto-reject and don't sleep with you. For more information on attainability, go to the description below where I'll put a link to another YouTube video that I did, the most recent one, about the 3 types of attainability problems that lose you girls. The fundamentals of conversation are applicable to any and all standards. Use your questions and your statements to screen her for what you want out of a girl and to figure out who she is right now. Then, if you feel that she lives up to your standards or is trying, qualify her. Show appreciation for who she is or who she's trying to be. If she agrees or follows your perspectives, or vice versa, and you two qualify each other and show appreciation for the fact that you two are similar and you care about the same things, then you two are building a connection, a crucial part of any seduction or any relationship. Now let's flip the script and see how you would respond if she tells you that she's a doctor, not a nurse. You can build a connection and screen her with this answer like any other. First, find out why she does what she does, and then what she wants out of it. As a generic example, you can ask her something like, "Oh man, you must have worked really hard. Kudos. What drove you through medical school?" Or you can tell her something, or cold read, and say, "You must have had a great inspiration to push you through medical school." Okay, now that you understand the basics of screening, qualifying, and building a connection, pause the video, go back to that last screen, and analyze my statement and my question. Why are they good conversation? Then, try to think of a better question you can ask or a better statement you can make. Yes, I'm giving you homework. And finally, let's cover screening, qualification, and connection building on your end when you're answering questions. And since I'm such an insatiable narcissist, I'll use myself as a guinea pig. If somebody asks me what I do, I usually tell them I'm a writer. When someone asks me what I write about, I usually tell them I write romance novels, which I am working on, by the way, so it's not a total lie, or that I write about dating. Whether she has the conversational aptitude to ask why I do what I do, it depends. But I usually tell her anyways. You don't always need a perfect predicate to jump to another thread. You can introduce topics at will. Even a tangentially or randomly introduced subject can lead to building a connection. If I go the "I'm a romance writer" route, I'll usually say something like this. I feel that no one's tapped the erotica genre for what it could be. It's all either too soft and stupid, or it's explicit and nasty, which is good, but the writing is sloppy and the endings suck fucking dick. Nobody sees the potential. Now, I have seduced and slept with women after detailing my plots or some sexy scene from my book, but conversations are built from the ground up. And starting off with the spirit of what you do is far more seductive of a lead-in into a long conversation than giving the details up front. People, especially women, connect with the why or the spirit of what you do much more than the how. Even if she doesn't care about what you do, she can feel the passion, and your dreams can inspire and make her feel like she can reach the heavens with you. As Walt Whitman wrote, "Behold, I do not give lectures or a little charity. When I give myself." When you give yourself through your speech, when you speak your truth, it allows her to screen you and see if you fit or exceed her standards and are similar to her. Every word you speak is being read and felt by her. Conversation, if mastercrafted like this, grants you an infinite variance of amazing conversations you can have with a woman. And in the process, elevate your connection with her beyond anything she could have expected from a mortal man. You see, nobody approaches conversation this way. Even if you're slightly lacking in other departments like success, social status, looks, or anything else of value, you can still enrapture a woman with conversation. Your mouth is your most seductive tool, in more ways than one. In the end, the most important part of a seduction is how you make the girl feel. There are logical aspects to a girl picking you over someone else, but first and foremost are her feelings. And that's a wrap, boys. Now you understand the heart of conversation, screening, and connection building. Understanding this fundamental nature of conversation gives you an infinite toolbox to love and seduce any woman you come across. This is Hector Castillo of girlschase.com, and I'll see you soon. Love you.